What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the Heat Report. Welcome back to a brand new video where we talk all things Miami Heat basketball. Today's video, we're going to be talking about two of the young players on this team, Precious Achiuwa and KZ Okpala. Make sure you guys smash a like if you guys are OGs. If you guys are new, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button so you guys do not miss any content that I'm posting. You guys have been going crazy recently. We're very close to 630 subscribers, and we want to get to 700 as soon as possible, man. So yeah, keep showing love, man, because you guys have been doing an amazing job with showing love to the channel, joining the community, all that good stuff. Comment down below as well what your thoughts are about this video and anything Miami Heat related. Any questions y'all have, please comment that down below. I do want to bring question of the day back, so if you guys have any questions, please comment down below. It could be anything about basketball, Miami Heat, anything, man. Just want to get to know you guys better, interact with the community a little bit more. So yeah, y'all got that. So let's get right into the video though. Precious Achiuwa and KZ Okpala is the topic today. We're going to be talking about these two young players on the Miami Heat, because these two are the players that have not yet shown their full potential and have not yet shown, you know, why the Miami Heat were so high on them. I do not want to, you know, say that they're bust, because they're not bust. By no means are they busts. You know, in KZ Okpala's case, he was a second-round pick. You can't be a second-round pick and be a bust. Like, that doesn't make any sense. But I do want to talk about these two because I do think they have a big part of this team's future. Unless they get traded, unless they get put in a trade package, they're not going anywhere. They're a big part of this team. I do not see the team, you know, not re-signing them in free agency. I do not see the team, you know, doing anything like that. The only way, like I said, that I can see them being off this team is if they get traded for an upgrade or like a superstar or like a star, someone like that. So Precious and KZ are, you know, I think a very important nucleus along with Tyler for our team's future. Bam as well, if you want to throw him in that, because Bam is only what, 23, 24. So yeah, Precious and KZ are going to be the focus of this video, because Bam and Tyler have already shown, you know, Bam more so has shown what he can become. Tyler has shown, you know, so many flashes of upside and potential. But Precious and KZ, it's been a little bit of a struggle for them, and I want to talk about what's their future on this team. So let's talk about Precious Achiuwa first. So Precious was obviously the rookie we drafted last year, 20th overall pick, coming out of Memphis. I liked him in college, man. Played under Penny Hardaway. Played when James Wiseman could not play because he wasn't eligible to play for more than, I think, 1 or 2 games. Precious actually took over that starting spot and actually played pretty well for them. He played really well for Memphis. He showed signs of even being able to space the floor. I'm pretty sure he shot over 30% from 3. And yeah, he was a very explosive athlete. He was, you know, you could see that he had tremendous upside, but his skills were not refined, and that's what we've seen in Miami. Precious is a guy that, you know, is a project. He's not, you know, a guy who's going to come in instantly and make an impact, because there's just some players who are not like that. There's some players, it takes time for them to develop. It takes time for them to, you know, show truly who they are. Like a name that I mentioned before on this channel, DeAndre Hunter on the Hawks. Last year was not really the best rookie season for him, but this year it's a seamless fit next to Trae Young, and he's almost an untouchable piece for them because he just fits like a glove. Defensive upside, all that stuff. And there's so many examples of guys like that who took so much time to develop, but when they did develop, you know, my God, like Kawhi Leonard, like no one really saw this from Kawhi Leonard, except for the Spurs, and then he really came onto the scene during that finals run. Jimmy Butler, same thing. Like Jimmy Butler on our team right now, and he was a player who took him a while to find his footing in this league. He was a 30th overall pick, and you know, it took him a while to develop. And it's gonna do. I think it's the road for Precious is gonna be very similar. I don't think you're gonna see his full potential until maybe he's like 26, 27. I think it could be that late, because he's such a project. The thing he has going for him is that he's such an explosive athlete. He's a very explosive athlete. He can jump out the gym. He has a very high vertical. He has the intangibles as far as, you know, the physique, yeah, he has the athletic skill set that you need, but as far as versatility, catching the ball, shooting the ball, it's very raw. All his other skill sets are very raw offensively. That's why he's a project. But I do think that his future on this team is imminent. I think that the team picked him 20. I do think the team sees him and Bam playing together at some point. I think that's what the Heat front office sees at some point, for him and Bam to play together. But for that to happen, one of them is going to have to expand their range, and you already see Bam doing that for the mid-range shot, but as we saw in the playoffs, he wasn't really taking that consistently. So I think in order for Precious and Bam to, for Spo to feel confident in Precious and Bam playing together, Bam is going to have to start expanding his range to the three-point line, or Precious is going to have to expand his range to the three-point line, and you have a 4-5 combo of Bam and Precious. Because let's be real, Precious is he's a 4. He's not a 5. He was actually he was a power forward / small forward in college. So he never played center, but he could play a backup center. People actually saw him like a James Johnson type of player. Like, that's what a lot of people compared him to, James Johnson. He actually played for the Heat as well, and James Johnson was never a 5. So Precious Achiuwa, I think, can play 4 alongside Bam in the future, but for that to happen, one of them has to develop some range, because you can't have 2 non-shooters on the floor. I do think that Precious next season is going to probably play some backup. He's going to play backup minutes for sure. I don't know where he's going to play though. He might be playing backup 4 because Dwayne Dedmon is still there. And Dwayne Dedmon, if he's re-signing, then he's our backup center for sure, because he played so well as a backup center last year. I can see Precious playing as a backup 4. I may even see Precious playing some garbage time minutes or reserve minutes, because he might not get the playing time that is necessary, because the team might not see him as a power forward yet, because they might not think that him and Dedmon would work together. But I think that Precious still has a big part of this future, man. He has a big part of this team's future. I think one of the reasons Pat Riley was really hesitant to trade, these guys, is that if we don't win a championship with whoever we traded, Tyler or Precious or KZ or any of these guys for, then we kind of just gave away our future. So you obviously want to, it has to be a balance. You want to contend, and you want to build the best team to win a championship, but you also want to think about, okay, like once we're done winning a championship, what is next? So that's why you have these young guys, you have these projects on your team who will take 4 years, 4 or 5 years to develop, but once they're fully developed, it could be a scary sight. And I think that's what we're going to see with Precious. I think he's like I said, very raw skill set, but very explosive athlete. He has the athletic capabilities to be a successful player, and I think that's what we're going to see from Precious. Coming to KZ Okpala though, I mean, I think that KZ, I was really high on KZ, man. I was a big fan of KZ at Stanford. I was very surprised that he ended up falling second round. I thought he was a lock first round pick. And I think the Heat knew this too, because they traded away 3 second round picks up to trade up to KZ Okpala's pick, which is I think the 4th pick in the second round. So KZ, I think, is a very talented player, but I think like Precious, he has a very raw skill set. I think defensively he has all the intangibles that you need to be a great defender. I think offensively he's shown that those point forward capabilities, especially in college. I've seen him bring the ball up the floor and make plays. But for KZ, it just has to be improving his shooting. I think that once he improves that, he can become a very consistent player in this NBA, because I keep bringing up that game against the Raptors in preseason where he had, 24 points or something like that, and everyone was like, wow, the Heat have done it again. And then everyone forgot about KZ because he didn't get the playing time, or he wasn't really, doing much. And I think that Spo has to start using KZ more. We got to see what he's about. The team was so high on KZ. I've seen reports like last year, or I think it was after that preseason game against the Raptors. Some reports came out that some Heat staff thought KZ had more potential than Tyler. And if that's the case, we got to see it. We got to see everything. So KZ is going to have to get some playing time. I don't know when it's going to be, but we got to see what KZ is about, because I don't think it's fair on the guy if he's getting thrown in 5 minutes one game, you know, and then not playing the next 5 games, and then after that he's getting thrown 15 minutes one game where we got some injuries. Like it's gonna have to be some consistent minutes. It's gonna have to be some, you know, like the growing pains I think should have been done with KZ, because he was drafted 2 years ago. He did not really play last year or this year, and yeah, I think next year we're gonna have to see KZ. We got to see what KZ is about. I think that he can be a really good player for us if he just develops that 3-point shot. Because I remember there was a conversation that was happening with a lot of Heat fans when we lost Jay Crowder and KZ had just had that game against the Raptors, and a lot of people were like, start KZ at the 4, and I was one of the people who were like, yeah, we should start KZ at the 4, but his shot is not consistent enough for us to do that. He's if he's not shooting the ball well, his offense is really hurting us sometimes. So I think for KZ, it's all about developing his jump shot. I think he's a very good driver. I think he's a very good passer. I don't think finishing is the issue. I just think that his shot, once he develops the shot, everything else will become easy for him. And I think that's what KZ's future is. That 3-and-D prototypical wing player. I think he can be one of the best ones in the NBA if he just develops his offense a little bit more, because the defensive intangibles, the defensive skill set is all there. I think that you're going to see that from KZ no matter what. The defense is going to be there. So yeah, I think these two players are very similar. Precious and KZ, you know, defensively they have the intangibles. They're very athletic. They have the body. They have the explosiveness. But as far as skill set, offensively, they're very raw, and they're going to need some refining. And we're going to have to see these guys play some more. And we got to see them with some more playing time, because, you know, we just got to see what they're about, man. We just got to see why the Heat value these players so much, and why or if these players are going to be a big part of our future or not. Because there could be a case where Precious doesn't turn out to be a good player, or there could be a case where KZ is just a, you know, bottom feeder and for the rest of his career. So we got to see what these guys are about. So I do want to see Spo using these guys a little bit more next year, especially over the likes of, like, you know, Iguodala or, you know, Bielitsa. Or I know he didn't use Bielitsa, but like Iguodala or Ariza. Like I'd much rather see guys like KZ over like really old guys like Iguodala or Ariza, because you know what we're gonna get from those two. I just want to see what you're gonna get from KZ, what you're gonna get from Precious, which is why I hope we have a summer league. I hope we have, you know, yeah, like a summer league where we can see these guys at work, man. We can see these guys, and especially you're at 7. We could also see what he's about as well. So the future, I think, is bright for these two young players, and I think if they're used properly, if they're developed properly, and if they're guided in the right direction, then I think the future, you know, is bright, and I think the sky's the limit. So yeah, that's probably going to be the end of the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. This was something I did want to talk about, because I did talk about all the other players on the team a little bit with my season review, but I haven't really talked about these two players right here, because it was really hard to gauge their seasons, because A, they were not really getting minutes sometimes, and B, you know, it was just very hard to gauge it's so hard to gauge a rookie, because you can't jump to conclusions about a rookie. You can't jump to conclusions about anyone in their first year. I don't care who it is. Like, we've seen so many players have bad first years and then turn it around. Like, there's no way we can do all that. Like, people were calling Lonzo Ball a bust in his first year, and now he's actually a very serviceable NBA player. So we can't do all that, man. We gotta let these guys be, you know, themselves. So hopefully y'all enjoyed this video, though. Make sure y'all please leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. As always, man, it really helps out the community on the road to 700 subscribers. Shout out to you guys for getting me to 600. You guys are absolutely the goats, and I'll see y'all later. As always, man, peace.